What's up? This is Brother Johnny of Groove 19 Promotions out of Manning, South Carolina. Sincerely thanking everyone for tuning in to TwitCam Talking 19. If you would like to catch the broadcast on our personal webpage, you can type in the 19 report in your Google or whatever search engine you use, and the 19 report will come up, and you click on that, and then in the menu bar, you will go to Talking 19, and we will be broadcasting live from our personal webpage. Today, we're going to be talking about something that has just been tugging at me so hard. I told you that I would come back with some information about. Um, um, I don't know exactly how to word it, but so many people are posting up videos on YouTube about secret societies and secret handshakes and all of this stuff. And I find that they're taking so much attention away from the real issue that it's time to address it. And you got these videos up, and they're playing all this scary music along with all of these secret hand symbols, and you focus on that, and you build up this anxiety in yourself, and that anxiety can make you sick. And it can make you very suspicious of people. I wanted to try and get over in a few minutes, God willing, how real suggestion is projected, not so much by hand symbols and uh, these quote unquote marks of the beast and all that stuff, but real projection, how it affects the mind, how it affects the body. Um, Before we go any further, to everyone, again, this is Talking 19 with Brother Johnny of Groove 19 Promotions, coming to you live out of Manning, South Carolina. And this is, I'm looking for the promo for, okay, I'm looking for the promo. On Thursday on Facebook, we will be doing part five of Save the Babies, entitled Born with a Broken Heart, the Making of a Sociopath and a Narcissist. Again, this broadcast is it is connected to that in the sense that we are trying to get over to the new mothers, to the new fathers, to the old mothers and old fathers, and to those who just want to know what may be happening, especially in South Carolina. Why are women acting so manly, and why are men acting so effeminate or effeminate? I wanted to go into something real quickly. I had it flashed up on the board now. As you can see, a lot of black men are wearing this shirt. Gay is the new black. People that were once, quote unquote, in the closet, didn't want you to know about their sexual orientation, are now coming out openly and expressing their desire for you to accept them for who they are. And there are people who want to see more people like them. So there was a time when homosexuals, they were homosexual, but they kept that lifestyle to themselves. But now the demonic spirit is being projected that no, don't keep it to yourself. Promote it, put it out there so people can see it, and maybe even pull in a few more to accept the lifestyle that you are part of. Now, to all of the, let me get my face back on here so you can see me while I'm talking. To all of the people out there, men who are homosexuals and women who are lesbians, if you are of age 18, 19, 20, and that's your lifestyle, that is your business. I don't care about that. You deal with God with that. If you don't believe in no God with that, then just have you a ball. I don't care about that. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is the influence that you now feel is okay to project your sexual preferences on young children who are just coming up. So now in the high schools, in the middle schools, people who were once unable to communicate. Boys couldn't talk to girls, but now they can talk to boys. And girls who are little couldn't approach boys, feel more comfortable around other girls. And they don't know what's going on with their emotions. And then here you come with your homosexual mentality to project on them. And that's what a spirit is. We're talking about how these gestures and how these suggestions actually take effect in the minds of people. And here you come and you pour into them your point of view, but you pour it with such force, with such definite surety that they begin to believe what you say. And the next thing you know, they are uh, professing to be homosexual or gay. And most of you have a 50% ratio or more of black men who are on the down low, or they're just straight up gay. Some are leaving their families to be with a man. Women, you're so butchy now, you're so tough, you're so filled with estrogen and testosterone now that your genitals, your where your vagina used to be, now your clitoris is hanging out like a penis because you're just becoming more manly now from the things that you think, the things that you take into your body, and the things that you believe. Now, we're talking about God made me gay, the perpetuation of the homosexual lifestyle, and why so many black men are coming out of the closet. Not only black men, but black women as well, but we'll address that later. And I'll say this again. If you're of age and you're in that lifestyle, that's your business. I don't care about that. That's your business. But when it comes to the new generation of people, we've lost so many generations from foolishness, gang violence, hip hop, gospel. We lost so many generations of people that we have to try to get some sense of reality back into our children, and so they can see through this covering of falsehood that has been placed before us. Coming out of the closet, are they all really gay or just confused? You can join the conversation. This is Brother Johnny of Groove 19 Promotions. Thanking everyone for tuning in beforehand. As I said before, I know most people don't pay these lectures any attention, and it takes a lot for me to actually do the lectures because I'm saying, God, nobody listening anyway. But something compels me to do them, and I try to do them in a study class type method so that we can really get something out of it. So we have black men who were gay and in the closet. And I was looking on YouTube back in the 60s, 70s, the 50s. Black men were gay. But now they're perpetuating that gaiety. And I want to say this about the term itself, gay. It said gay, the word gay arrived in English in the 12th century from Old French. The word was spelled G-A-I, gay, most likely deriving from a Germanic source. For most of its life, the word primarily meant you were joyful, you were carefree, you were bright, you were showy, you were in the spirit, you were gay. That was a term that was used not as a negative, but as a positive. But as time went on, of course, we can switch these words and change the meaning of these words. And I want to play a video for you, Oprah Winfrey, and she has 3 people on her show, and they are talking about being gay as a gift from God. One of the gentlemen, the white gentleman with the cloth around his neck, is Ed Bacon or Bacon. The black gentleman, a lot of you know because he is the president and the spiritual guru of the Agape community. His name is Michael Beckwith, and you can find out a lot of information about Michael Beckwith. And I'm not trying to make you believe or not believe what these people are saying. I'm just putting before you how I told you I would on once I figured out how to do it and say things without saying it. How on YouTube you talk about all these secret societies and what they do and how they do it. And you put together these presentations and you put all of this scary music with it and you put all these hand symbols and gestures with it, and most don't really come with proper facts. It's like telling a person you have cancer, you can get rid of it, but I can't tell you how. See, that defeats the purpose. So you point out this person, Samuel L. is a part of the Illuminati. This person, Jay-Z, Beyonce is a head witch, and Kanye West, look how he flashing the symbol. And I mean, symbols do have power, but we want to get into something that's more powerful than just symbolism. And because the symbolism hits the subconscious mind. But what most people are doing by making these presentations on YouTube and on other sites is you're perpetuating the idea behind the symbol. So you, in many cases, are more guilty of the symbol than the people who are flashing the symbol, because most people would never know about the symbol if you didn't promote it so much. I remember back in 89, 90, when colors first came out, that's the first time I ever knew anything about a blood or a crip. It wasn't until it was perpetuated and put out there with the intent of enticing people to want to be that the gangs begin to travel and the gangs begin to grow. It's the same thing with homosexuality. Some of you say you were born that way. As I said before, that's fine. That's your business. I'm not a homophobic, whatever that is. I could care less. You could party over there because I'm over here. And but I wanted to point out for the young people and for the parents of young people, you think because they're watching something like cartoons or Oprah Winfrey or something like that, that they're safe from spiritual misguidance, that they're safe from the spirit of negativity being entered into their bodies. They're already an open soul with so many questions. And then someone makes a suggestion, and the television and the computer screen are all projectors. They project images. They project images. They project images. They are projectors. So they tell you things that if your mind is open enough to receive it, if you're a Caucasian and a black person takes your wallet and the TV is projecting all of these black people in gangs and drugs, you're open to that. So you begin to believe, yeah, these are animals. So now you can go out and kill them and be like the guy in Florida said, I just killed a nigger. Why are you so upset? All I did was kill a nigger. So that is the type of mentality you're dealing with when you're dealing with the spirit realm, okay? And there's a difference in spirit and soul. There's a difference in spirit and soul. There is a difference between spirit and soul. So the soul has to be receiving for the spirit to enter. And as I said in the lecture on last Thursday, that's why you see this image of this white guy that they say is Jesus Christ, who's not. There is a Jesus, but that guy is not him. This white guy that's knocking on the door is knocking on the door of your soul, saying, let me in, let the Spirit of God in. Now here's the catcher. Here's the clincher right here. Spirits are all over the place. That's what they do. They just, as the Bible says, with God talking to Satan, whence cometh thou, Satan? He said, I'm just coming back and forth, in and out, to and fro in the earth, seeking for a soul that I can devour. So I'm here. And the moment someone suggests negativity or projects negativity, them I can go into. So here you have television gurus like Miss Winfrey and people of that nature who have the power to make you listen. You listen with an open mind because you trust these people. They got money, they got prestige. And then they pour on you some stuff. And not only do they put on you some stuff, but they do it in a subliminal way that goes into your subconscious mind. So I want you to check out this interview, and I will be stopping it at certain points because there are things that I want to point out. I may let it play through, and then we'll come back to it. So this is the Oprah Winfrey talking with the Michael Beckwith, Elizabeth Lesser, and Ed Bacon. I only recorded half of it because this is just about all of it that you need to see. Let's go into that right now. Okay, now I'm up here in the right-hand corner to some, the left-hand corner to others. We're gonna scroll through this thing, and I'm gonna show you some symbolism that along with the verbal and the hand gestures and the eye motions and the coloring of the stage and what's being said, how much control a television show can have over the mind of an unsuspecting youth, of an unsuspecting adult for that matter. But I want you to see this. So we're going to start it over, and I'm going to be pausing at certain points to show you different things in color and in gestures. So here we go. Okay, the first thing here, they have a map up of Decatur, Georgia. Now, for those, I have family that live in Georgia. My brother, God bless him, passed away, but he used to live in Georgia. And Georgia is becoming the melting pot of homosexuality and lesbianism and free for all, if you will, of that lifestyle. And as I said before, if you are a adult, don't bother me because I'm not bothering you. I'm talking about the projections and what you do to the younger people coming up and the suggestions that you give them that your lifestyle is all right. And we're going to talk about religion and spirituality, gay and homosexual, and the difference in the two. But first of all, I wanted you to look at the fact that they put a map up as if though we don't know where Georgia is. And then on the right, my left and your right, you see this gentleman, handsome gentleman, dressed in his yellow sweater and his shirt. That is the effeminate look that is permeating, that is dominating the scene, even in hip hop, even in gospel. These tight shirts, these tight pants, these flamboyant colors. And I don't have anything against the color, but I'm just telling you the power of some of the colors. Now, let's move on. Now, let's go back to Oprah Winfrey. She couldn't even hold her composure when she used the word spiritual panel. As you can see, she had to kind of sit up in her seat as if though she didn't believe herself. Now, I'm not saying that she did or didn't, but I'm pointing out the things to you, the gestures and the movements that causes doubt, that causes questions in the subconscious mind. Let's look at that again. Now, did you see that? I wish I could slow it down. We want to do it again. Look at. Okay. He says he's a 33-year-old guy. Okay, 33. He grew up in rural Alabama and he happened to be gay. Now, if you can remember, the word gay is just carefree, you're showy, you're bright, you feel confident in yourself, you feel good about yourself. Has nothing to do with homosexuality. Gay can be just a happy child. He's just always been such a gay child. He's always been happy. He's always been showy, and he's always had a good spirit about himself. Gay, homosexual, two different things. But let's look at how they play on the words. Now, I don't know why they skipped out a part of this, or maybe my recording skipped out a part, but we're going right into this gentleman, Ed Bacon, who begins to express his views on homosexuality and how it is a gift from God. Let's check that out. Okay, the troubling part of our culture, then he shakes his head back and forth, which is largely anti-gay. How you going to be anti-happy? How you going to be anti-bright? How you going to be happy anti-God? The large part of our community, which is anti-gay. And he's shaking his head. And if you know anything about the power of suggestion, if you can get a person to agreeing with you, you can control their thinking. So immediately he goes in for the attack. But I want you to look at the face of the gentleman from Georgia who has no inkling of an idea what he's talking about. Let's go. Being gay is a gift from God. Now, the average minded person thinks that gay, not G-A-I gay, as in bright and happy. Yes, being happy is a gift from God. We don't become unhappy until we begin to realize the hell of this world. Sure, gay is a gift from God, but not the gay that is synonymous with homosexuality. And synonymous means the same as. And if it doesn't, you know exactly what I mean. Not the one that's on the same level as homosexuality. So they're playing on words now. And they're playing on words in the name of God knowingly, but doing it anyway. Let's go back and let it run for a minute. I want you to look at this, and then I'm going to point at something in the background. Okay. Now he's attacking the culture. Really, what he is attacking is the word religion. And the proof in that is when Mr. Beckwith comes up, he actually uses the word. There's a difference in spirituality and religion. So when he talks about culture, he's really saying religion. And the Holy Quran says, Allah says in the Holy Quran, I chose for you a religion, an organized system of belief to keep you out of trouble. I chose for you a religion called Islam. And in the Bible, it says that Abraham is the father of faith, or Abraham is the father of religion, some people say. What is the religion he's the father of? Abraham was present before Jesus Christ. Abraham was the father of total submission to God's will. Islam means total submission to God's will. So when he say that the culture is against it, what he's really saying is religion is against it. So you have to watch the words. And when I play this, I'm going to stop it again, and I want to show you the background. Now, I want you to look at this gentleman. Look at his face. He's looking at this man like, what the heck are you talking about? But see, people talk a lot without saying a lot. And they talk a lot, and it seems like they're not saying a lot. But if you can read into what's being said, you can understand way much more than just being entertained. If you can read into what's being said, you can understand way more than just being entertained. Now, you look at this gentleman and you look at the background of the house. It's a nice place. So, and now they get these effeminate male teachers, black and white. They take these effeminate talk show hosts that just act feminine. Not that they're gay or homosexual, but they act feminine. So the men coming up think the only way I'm going to make it in this world is to be a hardcore thug or to act feminine. So even with this picture of the gentleman here, it looks like he's living very well. And as Oprah said in the beginning, he's at his friend's house. And in other words, he's at his lover's house. And when you look at two people who are quote unquote homosexual, they always seem to be living so well. So there's this projection of homosexuality that is already being put into the minds of our young children. I'm going to keep saying this. If you are an adult and you have the power of decision, don't bother me. Be homosexual if you want to be. That's between you and whatever God you believe is there. If you don't think there's none there, then just have a ball. It's all right with me. That's not what I'm talking about. We're talking about saving the babies, and before we leave this earth, doing something 100% right by God's permission, not for credit, not for money, not for recognition, but doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do, regardless of what people say. So regardless of what homosexuals think about it, it has to be said, if that's your life and that's your choice, that's fine. But don't superimpose your thinking on someone else who don't have the power to think for themselves. And this is on a grand scale. It's all through imagery, visuals, and it's even in the food and the water. And we're going to talk about that, not tonight, but we will talk about it, God willing. Let's move on. Now, he says that you can't be your best self. You can't be fully alive without a community. Now, he's not talking about a community of people in a neighborhood. He's talking about a community where everybody gets along with each other regardless of your beliefs, regardless of your sexual preference, regardless of everything. Now, this is total opposite of what is talked about in the Bible with Sodom and Gomorrah when God said they come to men with lust as they should come to women. And God sent Abraham down to find one good one, two good ones, three good ones. If you can find any that want to do right, I'll save the whole place. And Abraham couldn't find none but his brother who was there. And even his brother's wife eventually chose to stay in that thinking, and she died along with the rest. So he's saying to go against religion and follow spirituality. And we're going to explain what spirituality is in a minute. Okay. Now, Oprah says, this is the first time I ever heard that being gay is a gift from God. Now, I think it was about 2004 when they came out with that DVD called The Secret. And I saw The Secret. My brother in law gave it to me, and I actually passed it on to several other people because I understood what was being said in the DVD about the power of thought and the power of positive thinking. Because even in scripture, it states, as a man thinketh, so is he. So if you think a certain way, you are that. But you can think negative and be successful. You can think homosexuality is okay and be successful. You can think robbing people is good and you can be a good thief. You can think selling drugs is good and you can be a good dope dealer. For any of you that watched American Gangster on BET, that's proof positive. I mean, these were millionaires from selling dope. Eventually they got caught, but the power of thinking, and whatever you think, it don't have to be God thought. It could be other. It could be any. If you make up a religion today and you think positive about that religious belief, you can attract power from that thinking. So I thought the DVD had some good qualities in it, and I passed it on to other people. And Oprah now is saying, well, in 2000, and I don't know when this was, 2010, 11, or 12, but now she's saying, this is the first time that I ever heard someone say that being gay was a gift from God. But the gentleman, and Michael Beckwith, is actually her spiritual guru. So she had to have heard it before, but now all of a sudden, this is the first time I heard that. And then watch the handshakes and the high fives and how they emotionalize the idea of homosexual, of being gay, being a gift from God. Watch this. Look at this gentleman. He's like, what are you talking about? Look at that. Now they're slapping hands now. Like, yeah, we. Okay, now look at Miss Winfrey and the eye action, the eye cutting to the left. Right there. Look at the eyes cutting to the left. Okay, when the eyes are cutting to the left brain is the analogical brain, the brain, the God, what do they call it? Analytical brain. The right brain is the creative brain. Now watch how she cuts to the left and make the comment. Now this is Beckwith. Now the other gentleman had on the white collar. Look at this. In other words, Beckwith is literally, you got God with the white collar on, and then you got Mr. Beckwith with black and red on. It looks like a devil. So you got God and devil in agreement here. And not only that, they take away the audience. As you can see, you can only see the top of two people's head. And then they put this laugh track in. For anybody that knows sitcoms, they have a laugh track. They're just ha ha. Everybody laughing on point, on tune. Let's listen to that again. Now look at this play on words from Mr. Beckwith. We're not talking religion. Religion is a collection of cultural systems, belief systems, and worldviews that relate humanity to spirituality. So humanity is related to spirituality through religion. But he's saying we're not talking religion, but they're juxtaposed to one another. They need each other, religion and spirituality. But now they're beginning to separate religion, not only on this, but in all of the songs that you hear, the gospel music with these secular artists, and they separating spirituality from religion. So what you hear people saying now is, I don't claim no religion. I'm just a spiritual. I'm spiritual. And people follow Bob Marley and smoke weed all day and say, I'm spiritual. They have no idea what Bob Marley's connection to Haile Selassie was. They just want to claim spirituality because they want to smoke weed. And if you watch this episode of Mr. Beckwith on YouTube, he talks about before he started the Agape ministry, he used to smoke weed all the time. You look at it for yourself. And then he talked about having out-of-body experiences where he would be looking at TV and he would be up on the ceiling. Now, I don't question that part because I never smoked weed and I wasn't on any kind of drugs, but I had out-of-body experiences too, and I know many people have. But this particular presentation of God and his acceptance of gay as opposed to homosexual, they never mentioned the word homosexual though for the whole part that I saw. They used the word gay, which is a play on the condition of our people and the condition and the thinking of young people and how they can't identify who and what they are because people have damaged the religion. They have messed up religion. They have messed up the thinking in the people's minds and their faith in their ministers. They've destroyed that by design. This is all by design. So you will be in a frozen state. You sit still and you don't know what to do. So you say, forget all of that. I'm just going to be spiritual. Now let's look at what spirituality is. Spirituality leans more towards egotistical thinking. Whatever I am, if I love to party, if I like to drink, if I sell drugs, long as I believe in God, I'm all right. I'm spiritual. I ain't claiming no religion. So people party Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night, and they allow that spirit of partying to enter them. And then on Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, they come to church sometimes with the same outfit that they wore at the party because the dress, is one step away from seeing a cha-cha. But and it's accepted. Because now if I tell them any different, they're going to leave, and this is my financial base. So I got to let them stay and try to teach religion when what's coming out of your mouth from a religious standpoint never touches their heart. All they know is they take the spiritual part and they make that spiritual part conducive to what they are. In other words, if I'm a homosexual, as long as I do good deeds and I think right and I don't bother nobody, I'm spiritual. I'm all right. And like I said before, I ain't questioning your homosexuality. If you of age and you that, be that. But when you project that onto younger people because you're successful in this world, then that becomes a problem. Okay. A self-centered belief that I don't have to change. God loves me just the way I am. That's a lie. God loves, but he hates as well. He had hatred for Sodom and Gomorrah. But he loved Abraham. So he said, okay, Abraham, go find 100, go find 200, go find somebody and I'll save the whole city. So God hates, God destroys, God kills. And the devil hates, the devil destroys, the devil kills, but the devil is there to entice you to do as much negative that is in you that you feel bold enough to do. And we talked about that before. So here is a spirit that wants to do wrong. God ain't coming in there for long. So you pray to other spirits or any spirit that will come, any spirit will do. And you receive the guidance that you're looking for from these spirits that are conjured by your emotional mindset and your soul being open to whatever comes along because all you're doing is looking for something. Okay, we're talking about God Made Me Gay, part 1 of the perpetuation of the negative positive and how we accept the negative before we believe the positive. Religion sets rules. In the Bible, it says Abraham was the father, as we said before, of religion. What was the religion? If it says that Abraham was the father of it. Allah says in the Quran, I chose for you a religion called Islam. But now that religious organizations and leaders have done so much damage to the minds and hearts of the people, instead of trusting preachers and ministers to live for what they preach, we just opt out and say, I'll be spiritual. I don't claim no religion. I'm just spiritual. So whatever I feel, as long as I'm getting good out of life, I got to be right because God only bless good. So you see effeminate men, you see homosexual men, walking around, they got the best of everything. You see lesbians with the best of everything, and they project that. Ellen DeGeneres, Oprah, Rosie O'Donnell, Queen Latifah, Puffy Combs, Lil Wayne. They project these people to you as successful, and so you figure, hey, that it got to be right. Let's move on. He is gay by divine right. I didn't look up the word divine. I really should have, but I will look it up later and bring that point to the table. You have to be very careful with the play on words. There are rich people in this world, sociopathic people, and when it comes to spirituality, you are making sociopathic people. These are your religious leaders who scare you into believing. You're going to go to hell. I don't care how much good you do, you're going to hell if you don't believe in what I got going on over here. And they run in cliques. When they say, I'm a pastor, I'm a so-and-so, they click together and they start to boast each other's belief system. Oh, Pastor so-and-so is blessed and anointed by God. And then next week you find out they beating up on their parishioners and forcing them to give them money. And they still back them up because they are all a part of this narcissistic mindset that says we're going to be successful regardless. Here in the South, when it comes to Islam, Christianity is going to try to crush that. We can't let Islam be successful because that's religion. So we're going to crush that, and we're going to make it look like they bad people, like people make me look like bad person because of what I say by God's permission and try to do. And don't matter what the Christian do, they could be gay, homosexual, they could steal, they could rob, they could lie, but they always get forgiveness, as opposed to Brother Johnny. I don't know what that crazy mess he into, but what is it that I'm into? What is it that I've said or done that make you so upset with what I say or do? I'm just a straightforward person. As I said before, I ain't no fighter. I ain't no killer. But truth is what it is. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Listen to my lectures, my speeches. When I tell you about my time diddy bopping, I know I was wrong. That's just wrong. And there are a lot of wrong things that I've done in my lifetime that I can't just spurt out. Like I said, I have to figure out a way to tell it without telling, because you so quick to want to use something against somebody. You pull that one little piece and take that to the bank and mess my name up worse than it already is for no reason. So we're talking about how they're playing a game, and I wanted to finish this and then go to one point, and then we'll be done. Now, there are certain religions. Listen to the wordplay. Listen to how he emphasizes religion, and then they flash the camera to the white guy, and he's doing what? Shaking his head, shaking his head. Watch this now. Instead of you looking at people throwing up diamond signs and Baphomets and all that, watch this stuff. This is what you need to learn how to read. This is what's doing the most damage. Look at this. Let me roll that back a little bit. Look at this guy. Like, what are you talking about? Look at that. Look at that. Look at how he plays God out. There's certain that would frown on that and make it some kind of wrath from God. Make it like it's some supernatural something that is far beyond reality. You know, and so him saying it that way and being successful, you begin to believe his point of view. Look at this. Now, indeed, he is the image and likeness of a God, not the God. There are gods. If you read your scripture, it says we are all gods, children of the Most High God. Okay, they're gods. There are people with power, mental power, spiritual power. There are people who can actually make attempts at doing what they call incantations, voodoo. They throw things at you. They wish bad on you. They drop things in your yard. And in Islam, we are taught to pray, "Oh Allah, I seek thy refuge from anxiety and grief. And I seek thy refuge from lack of strength and laziness. I seek thy refuge from cowardice and niggardliness. I seek thy refuge from being overpowered by debt and the oppression of men. Say, I seek refuge with the Lord of the dawn from the mischief of created things, from the mischief of darkness as it overspreads, and from the mischief of the envious one as he practices envy. And it also says from the mischief of those who practice secret arts. So yeah, there are people out there that can do incantations, that can do suggestions, that can propel visuals to your subconscious mind and make you believe you're something that you are not. This is what we're dealing with. I'm not saying these people are that. I'm just pointing out things to you that are possible. You know, when you see what's possible, you begin to believe what's possible. There's one thing that I wanted to show you on this, and I'm going to rewind this and try to find a place. Uh, as you can see on this, they are all sitting in white chairs, as if though they're already in heaven, they're purified, so you got to believe what we say. In the background, there's green grass that's growing and a blue sky. And then on the table, there are green cups that stand out. You have to know color. And I'm going to explain this a little bit. Right there. You see the green cups, and you see from a distance, it almost looked like the gentleman has on a greenish yellow shirt. I want to read this, and then we're going to close this out. The color green. Look at this. Listen to this. Green is the color of nature, fertility, life. Grass green is the most restful color. What do they have in the background? Green grass. And it just soothes your mind for all of this information to soak right into your mind. Green symbolizes self-respect and well-being. So they are respected, but they are self-respected, arrogant, spiritual beings who say, what we tell you is better than what religion tells you. Okay? And well-being. Green is the color of balance. Isn't that something? And how many cups do they have on the table? 4 cups. Balance. 4 corners, a square. So green is the color of what? Balance. It also means learning, growth, and harmony. Green is a safe color. If you don't know what color to use anywhere, use green. Green is favored by well-balanced people. Green symbolizes the master healer and the life force. So the Bible talks about the soothsayer, the diviner. These aren't holy people. Diviners aren't holy people. Diviners are those who use the spirit in a negative way for positive results to get you to believe in what they're doing. It often symbolizes money. Money. So you got 4 cups, 4 green cups, 4 corners, grass growing in the background, white chairs, all of these people on the stage with money. It was believed green was healing for the eyes. Egyptians wore green eyeliner. Green eye shades are still used. You should eat raw green foods for good health. Friday is the day of green. Green jade is a sacred stone of Asia. So they use color. Color. So the symbol of gay pride is what? The rainbow. Again, I am not trying to get any followers because I wouldn't know where to lead you to. I'm just compelled to show things that are present, and I love to show things that are present. And I believe that if you show it in the proper way, you don't call too many names, you don't point out what the person is doing, you talk about it without talking about it so much, and the person has to, for themselves, look into it and find out what's being said. And that's what we try to do. This is Brother Johnny of Groove 19 Promotions with part 1. Now part 2 is going to be very, very interesting. And part 2 will be on TwitCam, God willing. Part 2, we'll talk about pesticides that are in the water that is actually changing the genetic makeup of men and women, making the women more masculine, making the men more feminine. And in this scientific experiment, they're showing that frogs have actually gone from being masculine males turning totally feminine, having sex with other frogs, and producing babies. And they're talking about how that is affecting the human population because it is in the drinking water 3 times stronger than what is allowed in anything else. So this is going to be very interesting, and I hope that you will be reposting this up and listening to it and looking at it. If you got something to say about it, that's fine. Like I said before, this have nothing to do with being gay. I'm not homophobic, whatever that is. This has to do with projecting your thinking onto someone else. It happened with gangster lifestyle that was projected on our children, and we lost thousands upon thousands of children being killed for nothing. It happened in the 80s when I was around with Run DMC and LL Cool J, and we thinking that they ran the music industry and we thought we were going to be successful. We turned down college. We turned down decent livings for our family thinking we were going to be super duper rap stars, only to find out that these rappers worked for someone else. So it's all projection, and it's all in the way it's being done. And you can wait for the children to learn it the hard way. I'm going to try to put it out there, and if you choose to learn it the hard way, then darn it, go ahead and learn it the hard way. Again, this is Brother Johnny of Groove 19 Promotions out of Manning, South Carolina, and I hope that you will tune into Facebook on 6 p.m. on Thursday as we will continue talking about Save the Babies, entitled Born with a Broken Heart, The Making of a Sociopath. If you haven't checked out any of those episodes, please go to type in the 19 Report in your search engine and go to live stream /the 19 Report. And we have volume 1, volume 2, 3, 4, and 5 already up on the board. Very interesting information as well as this. I thank everyone for tuning in. Again, this is Brother Johnny of Groove 19 Promotions. Looking forward to hearing from you.